Welcome everyone to the entertaining Linux live channel here on YouTube, continuing our improving our installer because we want to freaking release our amazing Linux distribution. I did here some preparations. As usual, I'm mostly done, hopefully, famous last words. So the point is, of course, making our amazing Linux distribution so amazing that actually other people, like CTOs or so, can actually use it, like wanting to migrate from broken enterprise Linux distributions. You may have heard I hear rumors there are 1,961 other Linux distributions or so, but of course, who would want to use those if you can use T2 for free or stuff? Anyway, so LVM, of course, I used it for a decade, but never quite needed the support in our installer. Yesterday also, people asked me why do I not stream on Twitch. Yesterday I tried Twitch, nearly nobody watched. So yeah, so much to the Twitch experiment. So lots of virtual partitions here of testing some random stuff. Also, this is not ideal. Why do I have that here? Interesting. Probably want to hide those. So yeah, so implementation details, it's like not immediately obvious how you should find internal use things. Also leave in the comments below, should we integrate support for SYN, called SYN provisioning, and snapshots directly here too. I'll leave in the comments below. So some more things. So one interesting, maybe I should actually get rid of that first. Let's create a new helper function like mapper to LVM also, because we need a function to, need, but if we work on those names directly, it is preferable. It's a little bit we could do this with SED. So what I do here is basically, because this passes have some doubling conversion. So if we want to iterate over those mapper device nodes, then some helper for that is actually quite useful. And so, I could use any other character. So what I do is substitute. It's like probably the easier thing here to do. If you have an easier, even with SED, I found matching a single occurrence, actually, like single not repeating occurrence. It's actually not that easy. And by the way, do we? What is if? Did I try that? What do I even have here, right, with my renamed nonsense? Do I have actually tried a dash at the end? But yeah, maybe even that would still work, right? Double dash. So what this does is if you have dashes in there, so the crazy implementation details you probably never thought about, that they use a dash for encoding a slash here, so they probably have the same issue as ourselves here. So the Linux kernel upstream people thought like it's an amazing idea if they change the encoding for dashes to double dashes, so that if you have a single dash, then it is the slash. Amazing encoding, right? Maybe an more amazing encoding would have been, whatever, to like URL encodes, whatever. That one here, right? And then encode that to that. And then we don't need to save that. We can directly, so double dash to that, and then a new line to dash. Very theoretically there should only be one, right? But yeah, whatever. Does it make sense? So double dash to new line because you could use any other exotic Unicode stuff, or you could, if you have better idea how to quickly high performance shellcode that, or SED, leave in the comments below, but that probably is hacky, creative, whatever enough. So then single dash to slash and any new line back to dash. That should be it, shouldn't it? Can actually test that. And then mapper to that, supply that, and vg-0 slash lv-0. I think that is correct. Is that not amazing? Good. And then let's, by the way, try if we have a dash at the end. That also works. Because we match double dash, then there's a single dash. Amazing. Does LVM even allow that? LV-0, VG-0 to... Oh wait, this is even wrong. Why do they not list volume group L? Actually, in my opinion, this header there is a little bit recurrently criticizing everything, including default listings of Linux tools. So, does that even theoretically? Let's rename the volume group VG. Rename VG-0 to VG-0 dash. Hey, successfully renamed. And that probably should be encoded. Actually, it somehow didn't allow me to have a dash at the beginning. At least the command line parsing didn't allow me to do that. So, is it the same what I just did? Probably it does, right? Mapper VG-0 dash slash LV dash dash 0. Is there anyway? It's probably good enough. So I also wonder, should we another usability design thing? Well, a couple of actually, right, we need to step over. I think I have our image. I guess we add here, what else have we here? Do we need to further? I mean, the question is, I mean, you probably will never create should we further lock that down? To only match at the end, and like in case you actually do have our image stuff, I wonder if do they have this fail proof? Can you? Oops. That would be at the answer logical volume. Rename volume group 0 dash LV dash dash 0 to LV R image 0. Names including are reserved. Ah, okay. So they have actually, that's what I'm wondering. Okay, then we don't need any additional good that we tested, right? The attention to detail, so that I'm not joking if I'm saying the commercial Linux vendors, also the commercial Linux vendors like ourselves, right, of broken Linux versions there. So that. Also, the more you test, right? The other days, like, yeah, we don't want this R image stuff in here. Obviously, also don't want x equals R image, R meta, right? Actually, by the way, also reserved. I wonder, maybe we should actually check the source code and check which other names are reserved. Matter, if you're wondering, this is for the meta information, the management information. By the way, the image is with underscore, isn't it? Our image. So should we? By the way, does it have all? I wonder. Oh no, that it does. What is our image and our meta? Good, our image. And by the way, does it? No, do we need to test more? Names including underscore our image, underscore our image, underscore our meta. X matches underscore our image or X matches underscore our meta. I guess that probably should be good. And so the other usability thing I was wondering, I wonder if people care about the name. Maybe they do. And I also wonder, should we by default, what LV or what a mess now. testing messy, renames becoming messy. I wonder two things. Should we, when we logical volumes, volume group 0, when we create a logical volume, should we ask for the name? Maybe we should. Because otherwise, as you can choose it and don't need to type it, because the default name will be lvol0 stuff. And otherwise you could rename it, right? All right, so the reason I wanted to do that, I did this helper. So yeah, so the difference, the question is basically, so let's maybe get rid of this bloody names. Or actually, should we actually theoretically, yeah. So should we ask for the name? Do people care about the name enough that we should ask for it? Or should we just let LVM use the default naming and then people can rename it if they want to? That is basically the question. So rename, I have this prepared here somewhere. LVM rename or so. LVM rename, LV. Where is volume group? So we have two, so basically I prepared this yesterday already. So that is dev and do I have this already in this image? Maybe not. So basically renaming that. Do I have rename here? Not yet. Because the name, so volume group. Okay, so that is trivial. Let's implement that. So read the name. So that would be name. And then if this type, actually it's so short, we probably don't even need to save that here. So if argument 2 for the type is volume group, then volume group rename from dev. The only question is, does it have mapper in it? I guess not. Otherwise. And by the way, isn't it amazing to code installer in shell script, how an administrator, how a developer or user would use it on the shell anyway? So fast prototyping time, and then Ewood says VG0. Yeah, I did this for testing, right? I personally also use VG0, but you could I only tested that, right? I only tested the encoding to make sure it doesn't break instantly and the next user does something. But LVs I use name, right? So as you chat already, so what names have you seen out in the wild? I personally use root, swap or serve data. I also for like either trash or temp or serve or T2 or data, like names I used in the past, or like big data. Like if I have a 10 disk array thing, RAID 5 or 6 or 10, then at times I have to call the stuff big data and stuff. So for logical, so usually I personally use for the volume group just volume group 0. Often, unless I have very big customers, so for our own stuff, I nearly always have VG0, and then I have root, swap, data, big data, but leave its comments below. So also I have, there's somehow some typo. I only tested that, so that should actually work. So that is also the question, like, do you use just LV0? Because and that is also what I was thinking, right? Do I need to query about the name, or people don't care anyway? Which is why we brainstorm this stuff here together. So here we need this stuff. So here we have the name I just wanted to also probably so I guess we could translate the name here already. Like if the type is logical volume, then translate the def, because we will display it here for rename, and otherwise it would be mapper / vg whatever dash and stuff. So def equals l, what did I just call it? A mapper to darn it. Logical volume def equals mapper of def, and then we have this def already translated, and like we have the same user visible vg0 stuff rename. Actually, so yeah, I guess we want, so this volume group, by the way, can it have a slash? Questions I never thought I have. Probably it will complain. I expected invalid character. So there's even valid set is set includes, like, also the message valid set includes, like, so is this, how do we call this, exhaustive or so, or is it includes but not fully descriptive? But anyway, okay, so then we don't need to worry about that, because I guess that is, as far as I remember, hopefully that is the default text. So let's remove any trailing volume group from the name for, if in case that is the volume group as a logical volume. The full specifier, the full path. So rename VG whatever stuff, and then VG rename, let's beta read set for a test. Let's hope it doesn't have typos, and give that a go. Oh wait, did I do this already? What have I done now? Oh, cool. Syntax error. 282. Where is the syntax error? Darn it. X image conditional X. This doesn't because this is extended. So this is, I think this. Yeah. Yeah, dynamically. That is the only drawback of dynamically typed and stuff. Have you given up on video P3? No, there is just not enough funding. You can go fund me. I have a family to feed, so $169 didn't cover more of my hours. You know, nobody pays me for P3 stuff, so as long as I need to buy food and energy and housing for my family, there's only so much I can work on P3 stuff. I obviously put already too many thousand hours on keeping all this stuff alive. But yeah, there's Patreon, GoFundMe, but I will also continue to this sooner or later. Also, patch is welcome, right? Have you given up on P3 or Patreon or sent a patch recently? Don't ask what I can do for the community, ask what you can do for the community. And but hey, LVM2 coming to the P3 new console. Probably I should save the default. I've not given up. Also, I have ideas, so theoretically we probably could use all the knowledge of the RPSC3 or so emulator. I looked a couple of times into the code. It's not, like, it's relatively readable C++ code. I just didn't really find what I was looking for there. So probably you could use that code base. So you can't run Linux in there, at least the last time I checked, but you probably could develop a code base of X or kernel driver that you also compile as homebrew in such a way that you could probably test a full graphic subsystem for Linux in this RPC3 or whatever. So yeah, just an idea. It would be amazing, like, if we had $1,000 funding or stuff, would be amazing to continue on that. So many ideas, but I first need to keep this stuff working. So rename volume group. Okay, that didn't go well. Darn it. Why is there always some? Yeah. Nothing like doing this live stuff live on YouTube. So 13 logical volume group, 13. Oh wait, did I even use? Not sure I did that now. Def bed substitution 190. Rename. What have I done here? Oh right. That is true. I wanted to remove 39. So problem is I don't have, like, very theoretically, and that is also like modern stuff. Like, it is amazing that we have virtualization stuff, but theoretically I mentioned that yesterday on Twitch, which nobody watched. Maybe a decade ago, even without virtualization, you could have worked even more efficiently, or I should actually double my efficiently following my own tips. Because if you make your environment nicer, like having an editor in there, I could now edit this typo straight in the VM there, and probably, given this is so fast, Epic thread ripping through that here, it's obviously pretty fast, but I probably could still cut this time down a bit. Rename volume group. So okay, rename volume group to let's say this. Rename to that. Hey, that even freaking works. Amazing. Maybe we should actually always, because always it flicks away, maybe I should actually change all of this stuff to read and enter or stuff. Why does it say LVRV? All right, okay, so this probably does work. That was a rename test. Rename. It's like a little bit dangerous, right? Rename and remove. Nah. Rename that. Okay, that looks pretty crappy. Why do we have the full def in there? So I can remove this to do already. It's nearly done. Rename, LVM rename. Okay, we have that in here actually. So that is LV. Okay, I've written that like that, but okay, this has mapper. Should we remove it here? So this name, maybe we remove it here for now. So where the best place that is mapper that? Or we remove it in. No, we better remove it here for now. And if that is not the best place to remove it, then yeah, one more rebuild. Yeah, let us know. We have a Discord, right? When you have your custom firmware working and can code and stuff. It is ironic though that some of those people, I think, certainly Makan, but also I think there is some Peter that I guess it's my guess that one of those Peters of P3 reverse engineering stuff is now doing Asahi Linux, but this is was it in that scene like Iron Peter or something? Because there is a Peter. I'm only guessing, could be wrong, but it's kind of ironic that some people who did P3 reversing and stuff now work on Asahi, Apple, AGX stuff. But certainly that is maybe I should also do more modern stuff and not like this P3 stuff that I only do as a hobby. Certainly the bad life choices could be more successful if I would do more commercially viable stuff and not this like hey, commercial viable enterprise storage, volume storage management stuff. Rename that. So rename VG0 LVR matter to logical volume 0, renamed to environmental path. So that works. So amazing. So the only, can we delete this? Remove logical, non-logical volumes, and then I have 3, I think. Wait, this doesn't somehow like it. What do we have here? Size M unit. Why does it not like this? Creator right LV. Right must be used. Right one. Do I have typo in there? Rate 5 and stuff. What have we run there? Should have been rate 5. Size. I probably. Yeah, I forgot the dash. So yeah, theoretically, let's do the free size thing, just as a guesstimate. So it would be, what is the free size of? Divide max PE size, total PE, or free PE. 20 less than 23. So parsing this stuff is a little bit annoying. And it would worked in this environment. Ewood says most people piss their money away on crappy IBM plans instead of EG Battle Hard set. Yes, that is set to here. And that is also why I'm this YouTube title is obviously chosen to irritate people with broken enterprise Linuxes, right? So we love unbroken enterprise Linux here on this channel. I have to say though, I once had an RAID 5 fail with LVM, so I converted from MD80M RAID to only LVM2 RAID, and thankfully we don't often have storage failures and stuff, but once LVM2 RAID failed, it was super annoying to recover. So recovering and hot adding a disk to MD80M was so much easier. I need to basically retest this actually. It was actually rather annoying. So yeah, the free size, so that would be free is that, and so then parsing that is I wonder, can we like choose to only display one? Probably not, darn it. And that is a little bit annoying, I have to say. Maybe I wonder if it dynamically changes to petabyte and stuff. Probably it does. It probably uses some human readable printing there. So probably we would want to remove everything before slashes. Oh, I so hate non-breaking inputs. Shit. Ah, that's before that, so can't mix this shit up. And this lesson is also freaking annoying, to be honest. Who thought this is a good idea? Alright, I used that one here. Ah, darn, maybe I should also make live stream on battery. And then select this. When you see stupid regular expressions, that is often why. I wonder, does it? So it probably does not. Mouse cursor, where's my mouse cursor? Does it? What does it support? VG create VG0 8. Does it support that? What else does it need? An alt option. What was it? Not L? Ah, secret. Damn it. Oh, wow, it supports that unit. Okay, that is good. I mean, I probably Ah. Yes, just disappear. It probably doesn't support this with a space, does it? No. Okay, so then we also need to get rid of the space. That should work. Did I test this? Let's see if it does. 8.2 full extend 8 point rounding up. What? What did I run there even? 8.2. So I specify 8.2 and it complains it rounded it to 8.2. Okay, fine. Floating point math is difficult. So yeah, more comments, modern managed environments rather by broken hyped enterprise stuff. So yeah, this is why we are getting into hyped enterprise stuff. I learned from the best, and I now oversell myself like Elon Musk. What could possibly go wrong? So determine free size. So let's local size. Let's prettify that a bit, and so LV create on def, right? So def is that, and so your name, to do name or not, that is a question, and maybe we put the quotes in case the user enters some white spaces. And then we are nearly, So we need one more thing. I think I'm nearly through, except testing, more testing, and the most testing, because creating all this stuff is one thing. That this stuff actually works, and especially boots is another. I think there's also one more thing. As per usual, you work for some hours on this stuff, and then it's still not done because I still need dialogue to add to create a volume group actually. Oops. Create rate 5. Oh wait, did I not? Ah, darn. What a fail. But to be honest, there's also so much to statically typed stuff that also would have happened to your statically typed in Rust language if you have an example test string in there. It would have maybe warned for some unused variable, but if you have a big project, it would also scroll away unless you build with W error for hold and catch fire on each possible unused variable, which probably most people don't do because hold and catch fire on each. Darn. This doesn't work quite right if the terminal is in this other row, whatever this mode is called. Oops, whatever, it doesn't matter. Logical. Hey, that works. and has insufficient. Oh wow. Required. Wow. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Okay, they said less than okay. I mean, it's a little bit. I will not make this any better today. Oh, oops. This is just the backspace being. Nah. Wow, even that doesn't work. 8835. All right, maybe. All right, the free space. Okay, it's still a guidance, so it probably will work if you say linear, then it probably. Oh no, even that doesn't. There's one extend there because it says smaller. Okay, that is a little bit stupid, but at least you know how much. Yeah. It's not super ideal, but better than nothing. Huh? If I need to make it any better, then you need a commercial license. So the only other thing, well, they're always, what I don't like is that, okay, by default they don't come active, but that is, I think I personally will live with that. I will only probably need to mark it here better somehow. But this is so much more amazing now. This is shifted now as a device name there. Details, who cares, right? So, yeah, testing, more testing, polishing, and then also, I know the terminal is again disturbed how I don't like it. So how did this happen? This happened after some, do you really want to delete question? Yeah, so yeah, this is super annoying that some terminal shit is, some commands, some upstream commands leave that in some imperfect state. That is super annoying. So yeah, the last major thing is then creating actually the volume group, which requires selecting which physical volumes to use. And theoretically also adding more physical volumes to an existing volume group. That part is easier. Easy-ish. And the only other thing is also, so this will probably not boot, so this will kexec, which is amazing. So yeah, so the only other new regression as per new previous video canonicalization of this device name. So now we have, so we probably don't have reset here, right? So in theory, that is good. In practice, we need, unfortunately, because now I'm still torn. Should we work, previous video, should we work against this upstream Linux kernel gurus and util Linux maintainers canonicalization? Because now we have dev mapper in there. And so now our volume group doesn't become active because that is not, that is so stupid. That is also the thing, right? Everything could be so amazing, and because we now would need kinder, because that is the thing, right? You have in your etcf step dev mapper because canonicalization previous video, and then you boot with dev mapper vg0 volume group 1 or so. And then this is so annoying. I mean, maybe I leave it with that, because the only benefit, I mean, there are two benefits of this stupidity. One is if we use dev mapper, it is a clear indication here that is like dev device mapper, usually LVM2 mapped. Actually, except if, yes, I mean, it becomes a little bit messy, right, with crypto setup, because that is mapper 2. The problem is if we don't use mapper, it is not super easy, except running other tools and parsing the output to find out whether it's an LVM2 device mapper. This is like this and not working against upstream. I mean, I'm not even the most interested how other broken enterprise Linux distributions do it, because I want to do it how it's either the most logical, straightforward, and minimal thing. So whatever other distributions do there, I like to do the way my most straightforward way. I mean, my most straightforward way would be using dev VG0, but it's not the most straightforward in terms of upstream tools. Yeah. Because now we would need to have the same code here of mapper to LVM. And oh wait, do we need function here? This is old style, or does PDKSA need that? Oops, shit. What's that? Maybe it needs function. Because then we would need that here too. And basically if there is a slash, I mean, the only thing, wait a second, the slash thing is also actually not super accurate, because it could be by UUID, right? I mean, that is the only benefit of knowing it should come from a device mapper. And theoretically, alright, did I prepare that already? Probably I did. So, we need to remove all the mapper here actually. And then, and that is the stupidity, right? It could everything be so streamlined and easy and stuff, and then why is glue and initialization and boot up code like this? It's like, mapper to LVM, that fine stuff. And we need to remove the trailing slash here. I guess it could work. So the pity is I anyway need to go for lunch with our kid. It's running a little bit late-ish. Already late to lunch. So yeah, that needs a full kernel rebuild because the initRD lives in the kernel. So to test that, I need a new ISO with a new Linux kernel. So I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. T2 is coming a long way to become totally enterprise ready near you. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something between shell scripting, Salt's development process, and historic quirks and features of Linux upstream stuff. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, maybe Patreon, GoFundMe, GitHub sponsorship or YouTube membership. And otherwise, have a good day or night, and I hope to see you soon for the next fun and code stuff to come.